Hi everyone. So I recently purchased some art supplies from Jackson's art store in Gloucester, and we're going to talk later on about this Bockingford paper A3 pad that was just £21, and is it any good? Now before we get there, we're going to talk about Jackson's Art, which is based in Gloucester. It's their warehouse where they do their online orders, and it does have a huge art store at the front of the building with most of the products that they shop online, so you can have a really good mooch around and view the products in person, which is such a benefit, I think. So here's the store. Loads of paper, paints, all kinds of art supplies. And I was most interested in brushes because I needed a new flat brush, and I purchased this 3/4 inch synthetic brush that's Jackson's own brand. Now, did it make my painting any better? We'll see. Also, here's the paper selection, and I purchased an A3 pad of Bockingford at £21, and it's a hot press finish, so it's nice and smooth. It's a gummed pad, so you can tear out the sheets and tape them to your board. And I was quite excited to try this out because it is a good price, and you want to know if it's worth it. You know, is it a quality finish? Is it a quality paper? These are the loose sheets, which was a pack of 10 loose sheets of watercolour paper in various rough, cold press and hot press for just £8. All different thicknesses, so some of them are quite rigid, and I'm looking forward to trying those in a later tutorial. So the other reason I went to the Jackson's art store was to purchase some more Holbein Artist Gouache. Now I do have a set of this already, but I wanted a few individual paint colours which aren't covered in my set, which is mainly primary colours, and I bought a couple of really nice blues and also an ochre for my landscape painting. Now in a later tutorial we're going to discuss Holbein Gouache in a little bit more detail and my 5 reasons why you should paint in gouache for your landscapes and the benefits that it gives you. But my purpose in Jackson's was to purchase some really reasonable paper, a new flat brush, and also to have a look at their Holbein Gouache selection. So these are the paints that I selected. So the geisha blue, mayflower blue, and the light ochre. I did do a painting with the paper, which to be honest was brilliant. So I painted this landscape in the gouache paints that I'd purchased, and the paper stood up so well to the multiple layers of paint that I put on it. It didn't buckle, there was no waviness to the paper, and because it was so smooth and it was hot press, it gave such a nice sort of smooth finish to all of the paint. So you can see in the sky area where I've used the 2 blues, the geisha blue and the mayflower blue, it's a really nice subtle gradient. So in summary, yes, I think this paper is definitely worth it. I'm going to try it out with watercolour at a later tutorial, so keep tuned for that. But in terms of gouache painting on it, it was absolutely fine. And at £21 for an A3 pad, I thought it was really good value, so I can definitely recommend it. I think the supplies that I purchased, so the flat brush, the gouache paint and the paper, did really improve my painting, especially the paints. I don't know if you've painted with gouache, but the quality, it's artist's quality for Holbein that I purchased, and they were really good. They were so high pigmented. I thought they were brilliant. And the flat brush, even though it was synthetic, it really smoothly put the paint onto the paper. It kept its shape really nicely, and yeah, I would recommend. I don't necessarily think you need to have like a sable, etc. I think just their synthetic, if you're using gouache paint, is more than sufficient. And I really liked the large size of it. So I would take a trip to Jackson's Art Store in Gloucester if you're ever that way. You get to view all the products in person, which is great. And they even have a little sofa so that you can take your partner and they can have a sit down while you spend at least 45 minutes, like I did, in the shop, browsing and buying in person. So my next tutorial will be a landscape tutorial on my 5 top reasons for why you should paint a landscape in gouache, and I will compare both watercolour landscape and gouache landscape, and you can see them side by side and the reasons that I think you should give it a go. Thanks for watching.